The need to build a new port for Stanley was identified over a decade ago. The current FIPASS facility is very expensive to maintain and is nearing the end of its usable life. FIPASS currently has only 200 metres of berthing space, while the planned port will have double that.
By going up to 400 metres secures the needs of the users and the industry that uses it both now and in the future. We have a costed maintenance regime which is a fraction of what we're currently paying to maintain it.
4 years ago, the plan was to build a solid quay in partnership with Damen. However, external factors like the COVID pandemic and the war in Ukraine pushed the price higher than was viable, and the project was abandoned. In order to install the new floating port, the old one must first be dealt with.
All of the old barges, which are no longer fit for purpose, will be scuttled. If there's an opportunity to dispose of those in another way to a third party, we will explore those options. If we can do that, then that could save us money because we've put a budget within the overall cost for scuttling of the existing barges.
Should scuttling go ahead, the planned scuttle site is just off Shag Rock, the same place the Elkie was originally scuttled. Falkland Islands Maritime Association and Government Environmental Studies confirmed this as an appropriate site to also scuttle FIPASS. But a lot must happen between now and then.
The key milestones for now are that people will start to see quite quickly work on the ground for the installation of the road to get down to the new causeway. The delivery of the new barges will most likely be in 2027, and then the final connecting of the facility to the causeway and the commissioning of all the different facilities like the fuel lines and the power and water and other utilities will be done probably in early 2028. Engagement of user groups like the Tourist Board, Tourist Association, the fishing industry, SAS, the pilotage company, has been absolutely invaluable. It does reflect an amalgam of everybody's desires and wishes for the port.
While the marine side works have, for practical reasons, gone to an international company, the new access road and causeway will be handled by RSK Falklands with a local workforce.
From the very start of this project, we've always said local content. Anybody who feels they can contribute, come and speak to us, which they have done, and say what they feel their skill set is, what they can contribute. There will be opportunities going forward as well in terms of the access road, the causeway, and we're using local hauliers, of course, in terms of the stone. So wherever there is an opportunity for local content, we seek to use it primarily. If we can't, we can't, but we will always look there first.
The road and causeway build will affect land currently used by Stanley Growers, which was acquired by FIG. The government recognised the value of the food security the business provides and are keen to keep it viable.
Taking the land to the north of Stanley Growers and dedicating it to the port project was an absolutely key part of being able to deliver what we've now contracted for. Stanley Growers has been given an equivalent plot of land just slightly further towards the Canash to compensate for that, so there's a no net loss to the business.
Environmental concerns have been considered in all aspects of the plan. The decommissioned barges will be cleaned and prepped before scuttling to ensure they will not leak or take anything unwanted with them to the scuttle site. Ongoing environmental management is in the contracts for both major contractors, and the Government Environment Department will continue to be involved for all stages to give oversight. Health and safety was also forefront in the port design process and the plans for how it is to be operated. The port design also kept adaptability in mind.
Each of the pontoons have been, for want of a better expression, designed as plug and play. It can be extended, reduced or adapted very easily. One of the huge things that changes the way we can look at this facility is that if it was classed as a boat, then after 10 years we would have to look to spend an awful lot of money to dry dock each of those pontoons to keep them in class. Class is something that goes on a register. We're currently using Lloyd's, and it's a guarantee of assurance. It's a guarantee of a product, and it's something that we want both to say to the people that are using this facility it's a quality product, both to the people who may want to insure it, it's a quality product, and potentially sell it. If we carry on with the maintenance regime that we've put in place and costed, and is part of the cost that we have been approved by EXCO, then this facility will stay in class as long as it's there, without a requirement to dry dock the facilities, those individual pontoons. And that saves us millions.
90 to 95% of all goods arriving in the Falklands come across the dock in Stanley, and extending the port will improve import, export and transshipment efficiency. The increased berthing space will ease competition for fishing companies, allowing for greater efficiency there too.
We want the government facility to be offering them the opportunity and the facility to be able to expand if they want to. The ability to reliably import, export goods is going to be a key part of it, whether that's in additional housing, more infrastructure projects or anything else. This is all key in terms of the government facilitating private businesses and its own projects to be able to grow and support the communities in the Falklands.
The new barges should arrive in 2027. And the plans to have them installed in 2028. Until the new port is opened, at least 200 metres of berthing space will remain operational at all times. The transition is planned to be seamless. If, for any reason, contractors foresee that operations at the port must stop for more than 2 weeks, they will notify Planning and Building Services, who have contingencies in place. The £109 million figure is not the entire figure for the port, although it is the bulk. EXCO have approved an as-yet unannounced budget for the entire project, which will be made public as more contracts are signed.
Replacing the floating port with another floating port is a pragmatic solution, and the 50-year design life of this new facility should give people assurance that this isn't a problem that's going to have to be dealt with in the short term. If in the future circumstances in the Falklands allow for the money to be put into a solid port project, then the barges that we're now fabricating, because we're going to keep them in class, will be an asset that can potentially be sold to recoup some of the capital to go back into that project. So what EXCO's approved is a total budget that includes not only all those elements, but elements of risk and contingency budget for each of those. That means we don't have to go back to Executive Council for further approvals for anything that falls within that overall envelope. We've pre-bought steel to fix it at the price it was at the moment of the signing of the contract, so we don't have volatility in steel prices. The only circumstance in which Executive Council would need to further approve is either if the scope of the project changes, if we suddenly decide we want something slightly different from this project and we want to make that change, that would have a cost, or if there is something unanticipated.